Hello and welcome to Dental Studies Simplified. I am Dr. Ankita Kotecha and today's video is about submerged grafts under free soft tissue grafts. So if we recall the root coverage techniques, we have pedicle flaps and free soft tissue grafts, and till now we have discussed all the pedicle flaps, mainly rotational flaps, that is laterally positioned flap and double papilla flap, and under advanced coronally positioned flap and semilunar flap. So we have covered pedicle flaps in my previous videos till now. So from today's video onward we will discuss free soft tissue grafts. Under free soft tissue grafts we have submerged grafts and non-submerged grafts. Submerged grafts refers to connective tissue grafts and non-submerged grafts refers to gingival grafts. Under submerged grafts we have obviously connective tissue graft utility in combination with any of the previously discussed techniques, that is either laterally positioned flap, double papilla flap or coronally positioned flap. This is submerged graft technique. And envelope technique. Envelope technique is an entirely different technique which has original technique, its modification, that is pouch and tunnel technique, and alternate papilla technique. We will discuss envelope technique in my next video. For today's video we will discuss submerged grafts, that is connective tissue graft in combination with either of the pedicle flaps. And under non-submerged grafts we have one stage and two stage technique. So basically this video is going to be a summarization of everything that we have discussed till now. So if you go through my playlist of periodontal plastic and aesthetic surgery topic, if you go through all the videos in that playlist, you will be able to understand this topic more clearly. So this video is going to be a summarization of everything discussed till now. So what we are going to discuss in this topic is mainly how to procure the connective tissue graft and how to prepare those papillary flaps, that is laterally positioned flap, papilla, double papilla flap or coronally positioned flap. So if we have already discussed how to procure connective tissue graft in my video on free connective tissue grafts and apically positioned flap to increase the width of attached gingiva. Remember, we are still discussing techniques to increase the width of attached gingiva, wherein we can increase the width of attached gingiva apical to the recession or coronal to the recession. But the technique ultimately aims at increasing the width of attached gingiva. Although in coronally increasing the width of attached gingiva, we have a benefit of root coverage, and that is why these techniques are called root coverage techniques. So we have already discussed how to procure connective tissue graft. We have already discussed double papilla flap, laterally positioned flap and coronally positioned flap, all these in my individual videos previously. So now we are going to discuss the combinations. So first we will discuss the classification of the incision design that is implemented during graft procurement, connective tissue graft procurement from the palate, that is Leo classification of incision design. It has class 1, 2 and 3. Class 1 is a single horizontal incision, class 2 is one vertical and one horizontal incision, and class 3 is two vertical incisions followed by a horizontal incision, single horizontal. So an I-shaped incision, L-shaped incision and U-shaped incision. Each class has sub-classification, that is class A and B. A refers to single horizontal incision every time and B refers to two horizontal incisions. So this is the set of incision designs that can be implemented during graft procurement from the palate, that is connective tissue graft procurement. Now this is not something like we have an option of giving a single horizontal incision or a vertical incision or two vertical incisions. It is not like that. These are our choices. There are particular set of indications or the anatomical circumstances which will compel us to implement one of these incision designs. So it depends on the anatomy or the depth of the palatal vault, the underlying innervation, everything. So considering all the preoperative considerations, that is assessment of the donor site, we have to decide which incision design suits the best. Clear? So this is the classification of incision design for connective tissue graft procurement. Please do let me know if you are interested in studying this topic in detail, because incision design in itself is a lengthy topic. So for now we will restrict ourselves to only the classification. So with these incision designs, now that we know the incision patterns and designs that are available to us for graft procurement, assuming we have understood how to procure connective tissue grafts. So connective tissue graft procurement is sorted. Now we will discuss the combinations of these techniques. So the first combination is connective tissue graft plus coronally position flap. So we have already discussed how to procure a connective tissue graft and how to perform coronally position flap. So let's say here with this tooth, this is our recession. This tooth has recession. So we will perform this combination technique onto this tooth. So here again, partial thickness flap preparation with a number 15 blade. One important point here, connective tissue graft procurement is done in combinations with this technique for the added advantages such as connective tissue graft carries the genetic message which induces its overlying flap mucosa to differentiate into epithelium. And the second benefit is aesthetics. Remember, root coverage techniques are mainly aesthetic oriented, although they provide functional benefits as well, but mainly they are aesthetic oriented. So connective tissue grafts provides better aesthetic results. That is why connective tissue grafts are combined with these techniques. We can achieve root coverage with these individual techniques, but a combination provides better results in terms of aesthetics. That is why connective tissue grafts are combined, and so we have this category called submerged grafts, wherein connective tissue grafts are submerged beneath an overlying flap mucosa. Clear? So in case with a coronally position flap, as I already discussed in my video on coronally position flap, we have an option of either complete full thickness flap preparation or a combination of partial thickness flap preparation and full thickness flap preparation. But here we will perform partial thickness flap preparation. In that video we discussed full thickness flap preparation because we were performing coronally position flap only. So there is no risk of exposure of donor site anyways. So there was no harm in performing full thickness flap. Always there is no harm in performing full thickness flap preparation in coronally position flap. But here, because we are using a graft, connective tissue graft, so the recipient bed should be vascular enough, a bleeding surface, so as to initiate vascularity and ensure adequate graft uptake. The chances, the success of graft uptake, the grafting procedure is more better on a bleeding surface. So we have to prepare partial thickness flap preparation with a periosteal bed mainly. That is why when connective tissue graft is used in combination with coronally position flap, a partial thickness flap preparation is advisable. So the flap preparation design is somewhat like this. 2 vertical releasing incisions creating new papilla which will fit the existing interproximal papilla, and a connecting horizontal circular incision, everything partial thickness. So onto this tooth, once this flap is prepared, that is this is the flap preparation, if you can appreciate. Once this flap preparation is completed, I'll redraw. Clear? Now is the time to reflect this flap by sharp dissection. Remember, partial thickness flap preparation, so sharp dissection. Once this root is exposed now after the flap reflection, place the connective tissue graft. That is now here our connective tissue graft is positioned. Remember, our flap is reflected. So our connective tissue graft is positioned at least at CJ or 1 mm coronal to the CJ. This is our connective tissue graft which is positioned onto the exposed root. Now comes the main step, that is securing the connective tissue graft in its final position, that is laterally by lateral sutures interrupted and coronally by a sling suture. So this is the main aspect of connective tissue graft procurement and utilizing a connective tissue graft in these root coverage techniques. So securing the connective tissue graft in its final position so as to ensure graft uptake, immobilization and less chances of post-operative failures. So securing the connective tissue graft laterally by interrupted sutures and coronally by a sling suture. Laterally by interrupted sutures and coronally by sling suture. Now replace this flap with the advancement such that this graft is covered. So now this flap is repositioned such that the interproximal papilla are fit. Okay. Once the graft is sutured, the flap is repositioned after advancement onto the graft coronal position, fitting the new papilla fitting into the existing papilla. Now secure this flap, securing the flap with a sling suture coronally and interrupted sutures laterally. This is how the combination of the technique works. So the additional step here is connective tissue graft procurement and mainly securing that connective tissue graft in its final position. Graft securing, suturing is very important step here. Rest everything is similar to what we have already discussed. This is how this combination connective tissue graft plus coronally position flap is performed. Now we will discuss the next combination, that is connective tissue graft with lateral position flap, laterally positioned flap. Again, it is going to be partial thickness flap preparation with a number 15 blade. Remember, this is our recession here. So prepare the lateral position flap preparation. Of course, the steps followed are similar to what is followed during every flap preparation, that is root surface preparation followed by incisions, flap preparation, flap dissection and positioning it and finally suturing. So here we will again perform all these steps. So the lateral position flap technique incisions are first V incision onto the, this is our recession. So a V incision around the gingival recession margin followed by horizontal incision. The width should be 1.5 of the recipient side dimension and followed by a slightly divergent vertical releasing incision. Clear? This is the flap design for laterally positioned flap. So we will perform it here. Our V shape incision, horizontal incision and a vertical raising incision. This is our flap design. Now this flap is of course partial thickness, so reflected by sharp dissection relieving all the tension. Now place our connective tissue graft. So connective tissue graft placement is done as already discussed before, that is procurement and positioning, securing it in its original position. So I hope the steps of connective tissue graft procurement and connective tissue securing in its position is clear. So now with this tooth, our connective tissue graft is placed here. at CEJ or 1 mm coronal to the CEJ. This is our graft, and graft suturing is one sling suture and laterally by interrupted sutures. Now cover this connective tissue with the pedicle flap, that is laterally positioned flap. So this flap is now going to be laterally positioned. So here this will be our flap that will be repositioned. So somewhat, okay, and this much will be the exposed area. The interradicular area will be exposed. Always in the pedicle flaps, that is rotational pedicle flaps, the exposed donor sides are interradicular surfaces and not the radicular surfaces. This is one relative advantage of rotational pedicle flaps, that is exposed areas are interradicular surfaces. So now this flap is placed above it, and now is the time to suture the flap in its original position, that is again sling sutures coronally and laterally interrupted sutures. Okay, this completes the combination connective tissue graft and laterally positioned. Now we will discuss the last combination, that is connective tissue graft plus double papilla flap. So with this tooth in question, again partial thickness flap preparation with a 15 number blade. The double papilla flap design goes as follows: a V-shaped incision around the recession margins, followed by set of horizontal incisions, that is near to the lower half triangle of the papillary tissue towards the base of the papilla, to include certain amount of papillary tissue which yields a thicker flap, donor flap or pedicle flap. So horizontal incision set, one on each side, and vertical releasing incision set, one on each side. So this is the flap preparation for double papilla flap. So on to this tooth, so we will begin our incisions. Remember, our horizontal incisions will be somewhere towards the base of the papilla. So the the V-shaped incision with this mucogingival junction, the V-shaped incision is given, followed by the horizontal incisions and the vertical incision. So this is how the double papilla flap is prepared, partial thickness with a 15 number blade. Once this flap is reflected by sharp dissection, now is the time to place the connective tissue graft. So again, connective tissue graft placement is done in a similar manner as already discussed, that is at CEJ or 1 mm coronal to the CEJ. This much is our connective tissue graft, and securing the connective tissue graft laterally by interrupted sutures and coronally by sling suture. Followed by, now we will perform the suturing of this flap. That is first and the most important part of suturing, joining these two papillary flaps into a single flap. So upon joining this flap from the midline, the flap will look like this. Now this flap covers the connective tissue flap. So here comes our connective tissue flap, which will cover the connective tissue, and the exposed area will be these interradicular surfaces. Clear? Laterally secured by interrupted sutures and coronally by another sling suture. So please note, two sling sutures are required. One sling suture for the connective tissue graft securement, and the second sling suture for the flap, securing the flap in its final position. In all the combination technique, the sling sutures are separate for connective tissue and for the flap, and the interrupted sutures depends on the length of the flap prepared. So this completes the third and the final combination, connective tissue graft plus double papilla flap technique. So overall we have discussed connective tissue plus double papilla flap, or laterally positioned flap, or a coronally positioned flap. So here I would like to discuss something apart from the syllabus, just generic, or you can say relatable situations which will help you understand these root coverage techniques. We have discussed till now free gingival graft procurement, free connective tissue graft procurement, and all these pedicle flap techniques. So I will give you relatable examples, very random, and please note a strict disclaimer, they are not given in any textbooks, they are just my personal opinions, just to help you understand these techniques in a much better manner. So if you remember free gingival graft procurement, I told you it is similar to like removing the label from its non-sticky counterpart. The gingival graft procurement is done in that manner. It is similar to peeling the sticker from its non-sticky counterpart. Whereas for connective tissue graft, I can tell you, if you remember or if you know, many people hangs those baskets or some boxes onto their doors to collect milk packets or to mainly newspaper or any letters or so, letter box. So such kind of box hangs on their door. So whenever somebody comes to deliver some letter or newspaper, what they do, they put it in that box and they ring your bell and go away. What we do, open the door, collect our stuff and close the door. So connective tissue graft procurement is similar. We open the door, that is the epithelial flap. We collect our connective tissue, that is the newspaper or letter or whatever stuff it is, and we close the door, that is we suture it back in its primary position. So the wound closure is primary and healing is by primary intention. So this is another relatable example for connective tissue graft procurement, that is opening the door, collecting our stuff and closing the door. I am telling you once again, this is not given in any textbook, it is just my way of simplifying this topic so that you understand it. Please do not write down in your exams anywhere. It is just only for your understanding. Now for double papilla flap. See, in this diagram, if you can appreciate, I want to ask you people before discussing this relatable example, if you have gone through hacks on internet. Internet is nowadays full of hacks. So girls mainly will relate to this hack. You remember there is one hack where a girl transforms her old jeans into a skirt. So what she does, she removes the inseam stitch and stitch this jeans into from the center, and it becomes a skirt. So the double papilla flap is somewhat like this. Please don't laugh at this example. I know girls will relate more, but boys, please go through this hack on internet. You will understand this technique much better, I assure you. So this is that old jeans, you can say, and it is stitched from between, of course, and looks like a skirt. So this is just an example. Once again I am repeating, this is just an example. For laterally positioned flap, everybody drives a vehicle. So it is the laterally positioned flap is that speedometer. So that is laterally positioned flap. A speedometer will explain you how is the laterally positioned flap working out. And the last is coronally positioned flap. Very common example, the shutters of the shop. The coronally positioned flap. The flap is positioned coronally. Shutter, how you pull down the shutter? Just similar way, the coronally positioned flap is advanced. So these are all the relatable examples I could get in my mind and give it to you for your easy understanding and simplifying this already tough topic. I hope this helps, and with this submerged graft technique, that is connective tissue graft in combination with laterally positioned flap, double papilla flap, or connective tissue graft with coronally positioned flap is completed. In my next video, we will discuss envelope techniques and its modification, followed by submerged grafts completed. Hence, the next video after that will be non-submerged grafts, that is 1 stage and 2 stage. I hope this topic is clear to you now, but if you still have any doubts or any queries, please feel free to ask me in the comment section below or mail me at my email ID dentalstudiessimplified@gmail.com. Thank you for watching and listening to me. Study well. Have a good day. Stay safe.